Hello planty friends, thank you so much for joining me today. Please grab a drink and I'm actually going to cheers, let's open it and cheers, this at the beginning instead of the end. Cheers. Love my sparkling water. This video has been a long time in the making. I'm doing a Hoya collection video and this video took a lot of work, I'm not gonna lie. It was a lot of note taking and researching where I got these plants because I wanted to be able to share that with all of you. But I'm just really excited to finally film this because I planned this out, I wanna say like 3 weeks ago, and then kind of burnt myself out because of all the planning involved. But we're filming it today. I'm so excited to share. Let's get going. You can hear my cat playing in the background. He's playing with a cat toy. And my dog's tippy-tapping, probably. That's how it is here. They were quiet for a little bit before I turned the camera on, of course, and now it's on, and they're making a lot of noise. Anyway, first lives on my kitchen island. We are in my kitchen right now, and this first one lives on my kitchen island. It is a Hoya Krinkle 8. It lives in leca. I also have another one that lives in soil that is in my living room. I got this from a Hoya swap from Hoya Haven BST, buy, sell, and trade. I got a lot of my Hoyas from that swap group. I'm very thankful for that swap group. Unfortunately, I haven't seen that they've been doing many swaps, but that's getting off topic. We're getting back to this Hoya here. I got this in March of 2021 from that trade, and like I said, I already had a Krinkle 8 living in soil, so when I received this cutting from that swap, I decided I wanted to try it in leca, and it is doing really well. Admittedly not as well as my one in soil, but the one in soil that lives in my living room does get a lot more light. This gets pretty indirect light, but even so, again, just growing really well. There is a new growth point that's gonna be like really hard to show. Maybe I'll try to take a picture of it and insert it because it's just so exciting. Hoya Krinkle 8. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I believe I also have a video of me unboxing that cutting and the other cuttings that came along with it. I believe it was in a spring Hoya swap video if you're curious to check that out. Now we're gonna get to the Hoyas on my shelves behind me, starting with this one right over here. This is a Hoya that I cannot pronounce. I call it Hoya Numi. I'll write the name as well as all the other names of my Hoyas on the screen. I purchased this one on March 6th of 2021 on Etsy from a shop called Plants by Lynn, and it is so cute. It is in the original pot that it came in, and the medium is dirt and perlite. I have been wanting to switch out the medium on this one for a little bit because it does dry out quite frequently, but because it lives on my kitchen shelves, I do see it quite frequently, so I do keep up with its watering most of the time, but I know I do underwater this one, which is probably why it hasn't grown like super well. But even saying that, it does have new growth right there. Such cute little leaves. Oh, can't really see from that angle. And I also love this pot. I bought this pot, I don't remember where, but it's handmade by an artist. I think probably also on Etsy. But this is Hoya Numi, because yeah, again, can't pronounce that name. Up next is my variegated Hoya obovata. I almost said obtusifolia. That's different genus. Obovata. I thought I got this one in a plant swap, that same Hoya Haven BST group swap, I thought, but I can't find anything. I couldn't find anything on this Hoya, so I'm actually not sure, but I got it somehow, and I placed it in water because I can't remember if I got it as an unrooted cutting or if it already had roots. I really have no idea, but it lives in water. I really do have to repot this, and I'm going to be putting it in leca because those roots are quite out of hand. But as I've mentioned before, I love propping in water. I love water roots, so this one's roots are just so cool. I don't want to put it in leca and then I can't see the roots anymore. Very selfish of me, I know. But this one also has new growth. Oh, that light is not annoying. Oh, you can see it right there. The tiniest little new growth. So this one's so cute, I love it. It lives in a little shot glass. This next one I have is, and apologies for all of my mispronunciations, I'm just gonna say that out front. This is a Hoya SP Tam Doa, TAMDOA. Again, written on the screen. Apologies for the pronunciation. I imported this Hoya from Russia. I have the video of this Hoya as well as the other Hoyas in that shipment on my channel. I got it in August of 2020, so the video should be around that time if you're interested. And honestly, the Hoyas from that shipment, from my import, all of them are doing great, even 3 years later. But this one, it took me a bit to figure out what it wanted. It's in leca, that's what it wanted, and shouldn't be surprised. But once I did, it really just started growing so well. It has new growth points up here as well here. I love these trellises that I get from a local market, from a local seller, but I always break them. I have purchased 2 trellises from them, and both of them I have broken. So I'm no longer allowed to buy their trellises because I just break them. But I still use it. Anyway, this is the Hoya. I love just how ginormous these leaves get. Like, this is my hand, and my hand's kind of small, but these leaves are huge. These over here, this is an original leaf which is now yellowing off, but I'm not too worried about it. This one, I can't remember if it was an original leaf. I want to say yes, but again, I'm not too worried about it. It's been living very happily in leca, and I'm happy to see it. One last look at this giant leaf. This giant leaf here. It's gorgeous. Next up is my very unruly Hoya obovata. Like the variegated Hoya obovata, I thought I got this one in a trade group, but I can find no evidence of that. I probably purchased it on Facebook because that's really the only place that I can't as easily find my purchases, since they would be in like groups and then I'd have to look through it's a lot. I wasn't able to find it, but I have it now and I love it so much. I can't remember how it was when I got it, like how big it was. It has obviously, like, this is all new growth. I don't think it was like bigger than like from right here. Like, this is all new growth, so it was a lot smaller when I got it, and it has grown a lot, but I don't remember exactly. I just look at the like this perfectly round, almost perfectly round leaf here with just beautiful splashing, beautiful markings. I love this Hoya obovata. It also lives in leca in this very retro, whatever this is, I thrifted it, bowl. I don't know what it was used for, but very, very happy. I do want to find a trellis for this. The only problem is, since it lives on the top, there's only so much room for a trellis that spacing allows, and I haven't found the right trellis yet that fits. And I'm also very picky about my trellises because I want it to look nice, and I also do like to thrift a lot of things, so if I find something that I like thrifted, maybe. But anyway, I haven't found the perfect trellis for this one yet, but I will one day, and it will get a trellis so it can just be beautifully trellised. This is my Hoya obovata to give you a full 360. It's very, you can see it's very bald in the back because it faces this way at the window to get the light. Next on to my middle shelf, and off first is my Hoya polyneura right there. This is my Hoya polyneura. This was on that same shipment as the Hoya Tam Doa. I just found another mealy bug on this. I was gonna say, struggling with this one. It was only, I think, a 2-leaf cutting, if I recall correctly, because it's been a bit since I did that unboxing, and then it's like I mentioned previously, a bit since I finished the notes, but I believe it started out as like a 2-leaf cutting, so it has grown a lot, but I was not able to keep it happy in soil. I was not able to keep it happy in leca. It struggles with mealy bugs. I think I get rid of the mealy bugs, and then I like found one right now. I thought they were all done, but no, I just found one. So it lives in water, and it's doing pretty well in water. You can't really get like the best view of the roots because it's in this glass here, but I'll take it out. I'll show you. It could be like in, I regret that. Now I have to put it back. Hold. That was a little bit of a struggle. Maybe I should put it in a bigger jar. But anyway, the roots look awesome on it, and it's just gonna live like this. I'm gonna actually put it over there so I can spray it with some alcohol when I'm done. But it's a very pretty Hoya. I didn't do any close-ups, and it has this new leaf here. I believe it's a polyneura silver is how I purchased it. Very pretty, but I mean, it's not one of mine that wows me because it struggles continuously, but it is what it is. Hoya polyneura. Next up is my Hoya curtisii. I think that's how you say it. I have many cuttings of this plant kind of scattered about, so I think in only 2 places now. I tried to consolidate. My cat just jumped on my island. Disgusting. Jupiter, get off the island. You know you're supposed to not go on there. So first is this cutting here that I have in a prop jar that is kind of moldy. Not moldy, it has a lot of algae in it. I struggled with this one. It was thirstier, and I did not provide it with the water it wanted, so it was drying out, which is why I decided to put it into water because it wasn't soil, and that's what I do when I struggle with plants in soil. I put them in water, and you know, it's doing all right. It's doing okay. Nothing, I can't put down this jar because it lives in a, like, the prop station, and it's round, so I have no place to put it. But yeah, these roots aren't doing much. Yeah, they're just kind of sitting hanging out. We'll see what happens. I also have another one right next to it, another Hoya curtisii. This one's roots are a little bit nicer, a little bit more developed than its brother, sister, sibling next to it. So that's nice, and it also is growing. It's so tiny. It might be hard to see, but it does have new growth at the very end there. And then jumping over here, I do have a couple more cuttings. First of all, look at this jar. I just bought this jar. It was at like, I don't want to necessarily call it a thrift store, but it's a store that like lends out space to vendors so they fill it with what they want. And I found this at like a vendor that is thrifted things. So I don't know if I would say I thrifted it. I just say I bought it at a store. I bought this at a store. It is a beautiful prop jar, and it's holding some pretty nice cuttings in there. These roots aren't really that developed. I'm not going to pull them out, but they actually are more developed than the first cutting that I showed, but not as developed as the second cutting. They're in the middle. And I just put them in this jar because, again, I just purchased this yesterday. And I hope they do really well in here because this jar is adorable. So cute. I love it. Again, look at it. It's so cute. I love the way it looks when the light is shining through it. It looks so pretty. I don't even think I really mentioned where I got that from, just like kind of its journey, but I do believe it was a mixture of me being sent cuttings in a Hoya Haven BST swap, and then also me purchasing the plant at a local plant shop. I believe it's a combo of the two. My next Hoya lives next to those curtisii cuttings in that prop station right over there. And this is a Hoya Krohniana Black. I purchased this from a local seller to me on Facebook in October of 2021. I can fully pot this up. It's, again, when I do, it's gonna go into like its root system. It is very developed, it's ready, but just like with my, it also kind of falls out of this proctor, but also with my Hoya obovata variegated, I'm just a selfish person and I like to see their roots every day. And when I prop it, or when I put it in lacquer, even though it could be better for the plant, I won't get to see its roots every day, and that makes me sad. But this one is also, this one also has new growth. Very exciting. Yeah, almost fell out. We are now onto my bottom shelf of my kitchen Hoyas. This is my Hoya finlaysonii, I believe how it is pronounced, and I purchased this one from a company called Plant the Studio. I have purchased from them many times. I have unboxing videos from them, as well as I did a planty box battle with them, and I think it was planted by Lynn, who sold me my Hoya Numi over there. I think, if my memory is correct, I believe so. I didn't include that in my notes. I probably should have looked at that, but I forgot. Anyway, Hoya finlaysonii is, like, look at it. It's awesome. It just looks awesome. I love the patterning on it. The leaves are so, like, thick. I would even say slightly fuzzy, but just look how that leaf looks. Look how these leaves look. And their patterning and everything. It's just so impressive. This baby leaf up here is just the most adorable little thing. And it does have, it's growing more still, vining around. So I hope it gives me more new leaves, because I semi-recently put this one on a trellis. I want to probably within the last 6 months put this one on a trellis, because it did shoot off this vine. It was just kind of hanging out. And once I trellised it, this new leaf came. So very exciting. And it lives in this adorable mug. I got this mug at a local market, and it originally had a candle in it, and you could use it for a mug, but of course I used it and put plants in it, because that's what I do. Hoya finlaysonii. What year did I buy this? March 2021. Next up is my Hoya viola, which I purchased from the same local seller as my Hoya Krohniana Black. I purchased it in October of 2021, and this one was featured recently, I think. I can't remember for the life of me which video that was, but I'm just falling more in love with this one every day, because it did come to me with like 1 or 2 leaves, and did, like, I think it was actually only 1, and did nothing for the longest time, nothing. And finally it's starting to grow more leaves for me. It has a new active growth point in the middle here. I'm just really excited, because this one has very subtle veining on it, and it's really pretty, and I just love Hoyas so much. I think, actually, I didn't count, I should have, but I'm pretty sure I have more Hoyas than any other type of plant. Pretty sure. Only 2 more in my kitchen. This one, I'm not gonna remember what it is, so I gotta read it off my notes. This one is a Hoya DML 5655. I imported this one along with the Tam Doa and the Hoya polyneura silver, which is over here because it has mealybugs, which I'm gonna treat later. Yeah, this one again, did not do the best with those imported Hoyas. They're kind of on the struggle bus a little bit. This one being no exception. It does not really grow for me except for doing this, and I was just talking to my husband about this. I'm going to put it somewhere else so I can put a trellis on it, because the problem is where it lives on this bottom lip of the window, I can't really put it on a trellis because I don't have enough room. It only will take a certain size trellis, and this I think will need a little bit bigger than what it will fit on the shelf. So I'm gonna move it, but it's a cool looking Hoya. Like, these leaves are freaking awesome. It's just, this leaf is really weird. It got bent in transit, I think. Oh my gosh, Jupiter! It's so loud. But I think this leaf got bent in transit and it just kind of stayed like that. So I really like that. And it has very nice roots. So yeah, I probably should pop this up in leca, put it in my living room so it gets a little bit more light, and put it on a trellis. And I think this one will do more for me. I just haven't done that yet. So time will tell, we'll see. The last Hoya on my kitchen shelves is going to be my Hoya Rebecca. I purchased this from Plant the Studio in June of 2021. And this one, just like my Hoya Numi, is still in the original medium that I purchased it from which is a perlite in moss. Again, usually I would not have Hoyas in this, but I am very... It has a little bloom! Oh my gosh, I just noticed... Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. Sorry, I'm probably very annoying right now, but it has a bloom. And it's my first time for my Rebecca. That's so exciting. I'll try to show you. I lost my train of thought. I don't remember what I was saying. It's really pretty. I saw this one and it reminded me of Hoya lacunosa, and at that point I was not successful in having a lacunosa shipped to me. They always died and I could not find them locally. So when I saw this one on Plant the Studio's website, I'm like, that one really looks like a Hoya lacunosa, and I wanted one, so that's why I purchased it. And it's done so well for me, and I put it on this trellis, and it's loving the trellis. And I just want to show you, like, they're beautiful, the beautiful leaves on this one. It's just like, has some texture to it, the leaves, and it's a beautiful, beautiful Hoya, and it's now blooming for me. Okay, let's see if we can do this. Do you see that? Right there. Yes. Okay, now I have to be like, don't water it too much, but don't underwater it so that the blooms die. This makes me very nervous, but I'm going to do my best. I'm actually going to water it right now because it's very light, and you can probably see like flopping around because the medium's very dry and it needs to be watered, and then it'll hold it down more. But that's so exciting. Okay, that was my last kitchen plant. I don't think I said this in the beginning, but this might be broken out into a couple different days because that was a lot of talking right there. It's a lot of talking. Next time, if I'm in a different outfit, that's a different day. But thank you for joining me. So far, I'm having so much fun talking about my Hoyas, a species that I really, really love. Hello, we are now in my mudroom. My mudroom has pretty much floor to ceiling windows, so it gets a lot of light during the day, southern exposure as well as other exposure. And this is my Hoya carnosa rope that lives in my mudroom. The only Hoya in my mudroom. Yes, that's correct. Only Hoya in my mudroom. It lives in leca in a cheesecake jar. And this plant is very special to me. So I was very new to plants, especially Hoyas, around 2019. And I had just started joining the Hoya groups when I saw someone was requesting to find a variegated Hoya rope. I just so happened to be at a greenhouse, saw that they had it, messaged the person. They purchased the plant over the phone. They paid for shipping. All I had to do is I picked it up for them and packaged it and sent it out. So as a thank you for that, they sent me a box of cuttings, and one of them was this plain Hoya rope. And yeah, it's just, plant people are awesome. And it's just a great community to be a part of, and this plant reminds me of that. So I really love this one. Happily lives in Lecca. I did have a little bit of a struggle because, as robes often do, it got mealies when I had it in soil, but once I have switched it to Lecca, that really hasn't been an issue. Knock on some wood. Yeah, it just lives so happy here, and I love this look. I love how it looks. It looks so pretty. Moving right along to the plants in, it's kind of echoing in here, sorry if that's weird. Moving right along to the plants in my half bathroom. So my mudroom is right, like there's a wall right here, is right on the other side. This is the half bath that's attached to my mudroom. And these are my Hoyas that live in here because they have mealies, and they have for over a year. We are working on it, but it's been a struggle with them, so they live in here because they really have mealies, like a lot. So this is my Hoya carnosa crimson queen. I am not exactly sure when who I purchased this from. I think it's from a local plant store. I do have a tag on it where the day is like 2018, 2019. So I guess I'll trust the tag. But yeah, you can see this one's struggling. This side's completely dried out. The mealies killed it, / me, because they're in here, out of sight, out of mind, and I do forget to water them quite a bit. But, you know, the mealies didn't help either. This one is just, like, covered in mealies. I won't do that to you. I won't put it so close, but yeah. Yeah. Oh well. This one is a Hoya carnosa jade. This one was purchased off of Etsy from a seller called Land of Alice, and I purchased it in July of 2022. This one, even though it is infested with mealies, just continues to grow. Like this all up here is mealy infested new growth. It's shooting off this vine right here. I just saw some other new growth. Oh, like this. Yeah, this wall right here, new growth that it's put out, so maybe they have a good relationship with the mealies. I don't know. But it's a very beautiful plant. I love it. I do. It's just I haven't been able to get rid of the mealies on it, and so it stays in here like, oh my gosh, look at that vine. That's disgusting. Do you see that? Gross. And that's why they live in the half bath, away from all the other plants. Hello, so this is future to you, but present day to me, Adriana, on my lunch break, and I have filmed my entire Hoya collection video, but it hasn't all been edited yet. Sorry. So because of that, I have decided to release it in 2 parts. I mean, it's kind of long anyway, so I think this is the best decision overall. So what you just saw was part 1. I hope you've enjoyed it so far, and I'll see you soon for part 2. Cheers!